Hello everybody and welcome to today's group premium review. I'm looking forward to answering your questions today. So how these group premium reviews work is that whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, put all the questions you've got in the comments box. I'll then look out for them and answer them just as soon as I can. If you're watching this on a replay, please head over to the Ezoic community, and that's community.ezoic.com. And in here, there is a thread which is a live learning with your publisher success manager thread that you can add any questions to that you would have liked to have asked if you were at the live session. So how it works is I stay online for as long as the questions are coming in, or up until 10 today, and in that way that gives you plenty of opportunity to ask any questions that you would like to ask, and then when you feel confident that you've got all your questions answered, that means that I can then go on to answer questions that have come in via tickets. We run these sessions every Wednesday. Obviously, we've got the Christmas break coming up. So how the schedule will work over the next couple of weeks is that there will be another session next Wednesday. And then the week after that, there'll be no session because I'll be on Christmas holidays, and then I'll see you all back at the first Wednesday in January. Obviously, in January, we're going to be having the January ad rate drop. It happens every year. If you're new to monetizing through advertisements, this can be quite a scary time because it's something that you won't be used to. So what I've done is I've put a session together on Thursday that will be going out, which will talk you through what happens in January, what to expect, and what you can do to help set your site up for success in 2023. So please do join me for that. It will help you to be able to put your business plan together for 2023, and then also help you to understand what happens in January, and that there's nothing to worry about in terms of the ad rate drop. In January, the advertisers pull back on all their ad spending, just as consumers do after the festive period of Thanksgiving and Christmas and the January sales. Consumers then pull back because they're paying their Christmas bills, and so advertisers, what they do as well is that ad spend drops in January as well. This is because they know consumers aren't going out and spending, but also so that they can review what's happened over the past quarter and also the past year, how they've used that advertising spend, what results it's gotten them, and then what they're then going to do with that money over the next quarter and over the next year. And what you'll see is over the space of the year, the ad rates will slowly start to pick up again through to Easter. So yeah, definitely worth looking out for that session. Like I say, it's on Thursday. If you can't make it, then I'll make sure that you've got the replay available. It will be sitting in both YouTube and also Facebook, and it will also be within a community so that you've got access to that to watch that back. Okay, so just while we're waiting for our first questions to come in, one of the things that I wanted to highlight to you is the Ezoic blogs. If you've been on these sessions before, you'll know that this is something that I like to highlight. And the reason for this is there's a wealth of information in here from industry experts that can help you to use Ezoic to grow your business, but also use other tools and features that again can grow your business as well. Our latest blog post is 5 proven ways to get more traffic and save a dying site. So if you're struggling with traffic, and many people have been impacted by the Google algorithm updates that have been happening over the last couple of months. This article can help you with new ideas to be able to bring more traffic to your site. With the blogs, you can sign up for the content so that it gets sent straight to your email address. I know how busy you folks are with everything that you're juggling, so this is a really great time-saving tip that means that the information comes to you and you then don't have to go and seek it. So something less on your to-do list. And then the other thing to just draw to your attention is our Ezoic community webinar that we've got tonight at 5 o'clock. So this is with Jan, who is going to walk you through how to use Ezoic community and all the different support that you've got within Ezoic community, how you can use it to access the information that you need to grow your business. So do look out for that. Again, with a lot of the webinars and live sessions that we do, this Ezoic community webinar will be available for you to watch on playback so that you can review it at a time that's convenient for you. Okay, so we've got our first question coming in from Custom Kit Gym Equipment. Welcome, Custom Kit. Thank you for joining us today. So Custom Kit has said, when trying to log in from a different device, I am not getting the approval email. It's not in spam. How do I log in? Okay, so what may have happened here is that in the past that you've clicked on one of Ezoic's emails and set it as spam. If you've done that, it means that every other email that comes from Ezoic may be getting blocked. So it may not even go to your spam folder. It may just get blocked, so it doesn't come into you. When you do log in from a different device, we do have the security in place to get the approval email, and that is to help you keep your account secure. So the first thing I would recommend doing, Custom Kit, is first of all going to your inbox and just making sure you haven't clicked on any of the links to notify your email provider that Ezoic emails are spam. So first of all, do that. And then what I would do is clear the cache and cookies on your device and then retry to log in. If that doesn't work, what I'll do is I'll give you my email address. So bear with me, I'll just type this in. So that's coming through to the feed now, Custom Kit. So you should be able to pick that up. Send me a little email to let me know that you haven't been able to get logged in. And what I can then do is try and work with our support team to get this resolved so that you can see that email and get logged in. So Slower said, "Hi Heather, how are you?" I'm very well, Slower. I hope you're well too. So Slow says, I have a question. I know that non-US traffic are relatively low compared to an actual traffic coming from top tier countries. How can I make sure to ramp up my earnings? So Slow, there's a really good question here, and that's one that I get asked quite often. I've got an article in the Ezoic community. So if you go to Ezoic community, there's an article here about how can I increase my EPMV. That walks you through step by step how you can increase your EPMV. It helps you to understand all the different factors that go into making up an EPMV, and has articles in there from our CMO, Tyler Bishop, that is an interactive guide so that you can actually use the big data analytics to analyze your readers and find solutions to help increase your EPMV. The other thing alongside that is being able to increase your traffic, because obviously if you're looking at your earnings, there's two different ways you can increase them. One, you can keep the sort of same level of visits coming in, but increase the EPMV from those visits. And then alongside that, if you increase your visits and your EPMV stays the same, then obviously your earnings are going to increase from those increased visits. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to increase both your EPMV and your visits in tandem with each other as best you can throughout the year, because obviously ad rates will climb and dip, just the same as traffic has its own seasonality. And then when you're growing both your EPMV and your traffic at the same time, that's when you're really able to grow your business to where you want it to be. So what I would recommend doing slow is work through that. How can I increase my EPMV article? Alongside that, do take a look at our Ezoic blogs. Type in traffic at the search bar here, and that will bring up all the articles that can help you to increase your traffic, both with tools that you're using in Ezoic, such as Flickrfy, Humix, Niche IQ Topics, Tag Tester. They're all really good tools to help you to show Google what your site is about, and then also find evergreen keywords that can help you to bring more traffic to your site. And obviously with Flickrfy, you're creating content that you can then put on your website, which has a multimedia aspect to it. Google reportedly, from an SEO point of view, loves to see multimedia aspects on sites. So this can help sort of give you another tick in the box from Google's point of view, and potentially help move you up the rankings. But also videos are displayed at the top of search results. So you may find that your readers come in through those videos to your site, or it's about the brand recognition. So they'll see your video at the top, see the brand, look through, a few articles, see your brand in the meta descriptions, and then click on there, and that will help draw readers to your site as well. So I hope that helps. Do let me know how you get on in the Ezoic community thread. The how can I increase my EPMV? I do keep an eye out for any questions that folks have got about that. So do let me know. I work Monday to Friday on UK time, so obviously anything outside of that, do bear with me in terms of my response times. And obviously I've got Christmas coming up, so I'll make sure you folks know sort of when I'm here and when I'm away over Christmas time. But outside of that, I'll try and get back to you just as soon as I can. So send over all your questions that you've got in there in between time, and I'll be happy to answer them. You're so welcome, Slow. No worries at all. Good luck with that. Let us know how you get on. And Custom Kit, you're so welcome. No problem. I hope that gets fixed for you. Okay, so thank you so much for the questions that you've sent over so far. The questions that you can ask today are varied. You can ask anything about your website specifically, Ezoic tools in general, or the wider publishing space. I'd be delighted to assist you with the answers. I stay on this call for as long as the questions are coming in, or until 10 o'clock. So if you do have any questions, do send them over to me and I'd be delighted to answer them. So Annex has said, hi Heather, great tips so far. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying them. I have a quick question about image optimization. I have Leap fully enabled and working, but I don't think it compresses images right. Can I use a plugin to do this? Annex, in terms of Leap, there is in the optimization settings compressions around imagery that the system does do for you. So we do a lot of that on your behalf. I wouldn't recommend using a secondary plugin to do that as well. What happens sometimes is if you've got a setting in Leap that's set up and working, if you install a plugin that does the same or similar job, the two can work against each other, and either the compression doesn't happen or something goes wrong with the images, and so they look strange on your site because the two tools are essentially sort of working against each other. And what I would recommend doing, Annex, is we've got a thread here which says, how do I get my Core Web Vitals to green? Just when you've got a moment, if you want to head over there and let me know any additional concerns that you've got about your Core Web Vitals. As an admin, what I can do is I can go in and I can see your site details. Nobody else can, obviously, just employees of Ezoic. So you don't need to put your domain name or anything like that. If you've got multiple sites and there's one site that you're concerned about over another, if one site begins with A and the other site begins with B, feel free just to put, please, can you look at my site beginning with A? And then that helps us to make sure that we're looking at the right solutions for you. With that article, it talks you through step by step how to get your Core Web Vitals to green, and then also how you can reach out to our LEAP team, because we do have a team of engineers and tech support guides who can walk you through what you need to do to be able to move your Core Web Vitals to green. So if you do have any other further concerns, just let me know in that thread, and I'll look out for your answer, and we can go from there. Thank you. Okay. So just while we're waiting for the next questions to come in, what I'll do is just show you the levels dashboard. I'm sure it's something that you're all really familiar with. No problem, Annex, you're so welcome. So with the levels dashboard, the scores button here, the way we've designed that is to help you to see what are available opportunities for you to be able to find ways to increase the revenue to your site and to get your Ezoic dashboard fully set up. So I've just got a dummy site here, so it isn't set up. That's why the score's so low, but it just helps me to guide you through. So with the overall score, it's obviously broken down in terms of all the different optimization opportunities. Obviously, you can see here that some things are 100 out of 100 and others are much less. When you click on each one, if anything shows less than 100 out of 100, it means it's not fully set up. So if you click on the box, what will happen is a pop-up will appear. It will explain to you what this optimization setting is about, and then also give you a step-by-step guide of how to improve that score. With these scores, what you'll find is, on the whole, that it will take at least 24 hours for the scores to improve on. And obviously with things like this one, which is 30 days above 50%, then the rolling period of moving through those 30 days will obviously over time the score will improve, but it won't fully get there until those 30 days are up. With the responsive ad sizes, the Ezoic community has an article in there which talks you through how to set that up. If you have any questions about that article, if you aren't sure how to do them, do let me know in the Ezoic community. I can then answer the questions that you've got and then adjust that article from your feedback so that it's clearer for other people. So if you do have any concerns or find that difficult to do, let me know and I can adjust that document to make it easier both for you and other people as well. So this is quite a good little project if you do have some downtime over the Christmas period. I know many people take time off between Christmas and January, and so if you do have some additional spare time, working through these optimization opportunities and working to get them to as best you can 100 out of 100 is a great way to set you up for success in 2023. Obviously maybe with some of these things, you're going to feel, well, actually, that's just not right for my site. And then we totally understand that. This is a guide to help you get this set up, and it's the guide that gives you the best opportunity to earn the most money. But equally, we understand that yourselves as business owners will want to make different decisions based on what's right for your business at the time. If there's some things that you think, well, no, that's not right for me to set up at the moment, or I sort of not comfortable doing that, I want to kind of see how things go, that's absolutely fine. What I would recommend doing though is just making a note in your diary or your business plan to kind of come back sort of once a quarter or once a month, depending on how many changes you make to your site, because what you may find is what's right for you now isn't right for you in a couple of months' time, and it just gives you that opportunity to keep the growth of your site going in line with your goals. Okay, so No Aim, No Shame has said, what about the AMP? I know Ezoic used to have some AMP. How does it affect earnings? Google says earnings increase, while most publishers will say it decreases. So in terms of what Google says about earnings, I'm not sure about that one. I haven't seen anything specific about that. What I can say is in terms of what I've seen on publishers' sites around AMP. So just to take a step back, AMP when it first came out was super fast, and there was obviously a lot of focus on AMP. It was obviously very much designed for mobile phones and for people having as quick a loading page as possible on mobile devices, and it was something that Google was very keen on. What's happened with AMP though is slowly over time more and more features have been added to it. And so it isn't as quick or as fast as it used to be. And also Google has moved on from AMP a little over towards Core Web Vitals. And with the Core Web Vitals, that's based around user experience as well. In terms of the revenue that I've seen, what happens is with AMP pages, I've seen that publishers do get a big spike in traffic, and that's I'm not sure of the reason why, whether Google's prioritizing those pages or whether it's to do with the positions on SERP rankings. I'm not sure on that one, but I do see that publishers who use AMP can see a big increase in traffic. But what happens is the way AMP works means that no header bidding partners can be loaded into the page, so you're not getting that header bidding mediation, and that's obviously what brings quite a bit of the revenue to your site. And so the revenue for AMP pages tends to be really low. Also, in terms of the user experience metrics as well, they don't tend to be pages that people sort of really stay on. It's sort of quick information that people are getting and then leaving as well. As a company, it's not something that we recommend. It's something that we still do support, but not something that we would actively recommend unless you feel that it's right for your site. Obviously, as business owners, there are some things that are going to be absolutely right for you to do and are going to fit in with your business plan, and then other things that are not going to fit in. I've seen people create AMP pages for their site and keep them, and I've seen other people create AMP pages from their site and keep them for a couple of weeks and then remove them because it doesn't have the positive benefits they're looking for in terms of their business goals, and impacts their EPMVs as well. So yeah, it's one of those things that it depends, no aim, no shame, in terms of what you're looking to achieve, and then from there making the best decision. If you'd like any additional support on that, then do head over to the Ezoic community. With the Ezoic community, I can then see your website. We can take a look at that and have a deeper discussion based on the data of your site, and then also your business goals as well. With the Ezoic community, if you can let me know in there, if you've got multiple sites, if you can just say, oh, it's a site that begins with A, you don't have to put your full domain name in. Just put something like, oh, it's a site that begins with A. And that way, if you've got multiple sites, that helps me to kind of be able to look at your question and look at your data from there. Also, what would be really helpful with this question is when you head over there, do let me know what your goals are for your site. So obviously, I know you won't want to put too much detail, but just in terms of, I'm thinking about using AMP to increase my traffic, or the goals that you have, that then helps me to advise you as to what the best next step is that I can see. And then obviously as a business owner, you can then choose from there what steps that you would like to take. Obviously we have the higher ad rates between now and the end of this year. And then in January, as I mentioned earlier, the ad rates are going to drop off. So if you are thinking about doing any experimenting, whether that's with your content creation ideas, your marketing, your social media, the design of your website, or your Core Web Vital scores, January and into February are really great times of the year to do this, because the changes that you make will then have minimal impact on your revenue, and then that way you can experiment with different things, look at your data, and then make a decision from there as to what's right for your business. So I hope that helps, and look forward to chatting with you further about that in community. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for the questions that you've got coming in. I'll stay on the line for another few minutes. Please do send over any questions that you've got. After this time, I'll close the call down. If no questions come in, that then enables me to head over to community and tickets to be able to support you all through them. So just while I've got you all, just to let you know that I'll be working right up until next Friday, and then after that I will be off for a week for the Christmas period. The support team will be online at different times over Christmas and January, so there always will be someone to support you. Even on Christmas Day we do have teams working, but please do bear with everybody over the Christmas period. We just have skeleton staff on in terms of numbers, so that way people can spend time with their families. Okay, so Annex has said, I have a website about alcoholic drinks like cocktails, but the EPMV is super low compared to my other websites. Is this because of the topic around alcohol? Yes, it very likely is, Annex. There could be a lot of different things going on with the site. And so what I would recommend doing is do head over to the Ezoic community article, how can I increase my EPMV, and take a look at that and work through it. While the restrictions on the type of ads that we can show because of Google policies around alcohol means that the EPMV may always be lower than your other sites. There are plenty of ways that we can perhaps look at through that article, increasing your EPMV so you're making the very most money out of the site that you've got. It's interesting that you've got a website about cocktails. I've been watching a series on Netflix recently about cocktails, which has been quite fascinating. So I think there's quite a trend of that at the moment in terms of the wider sort of media space. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting niche, that one. And so whilst it may be lower in terms of EPMV, take a look at that article and see if there are ways that you can increase the EPMV. But then also do remember, in terms of websites that have a low EPMV, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have low revenue, because of all the different ways that you can create content and market your site to get traffic to your site. And obviously websites that have a low EPMV but have a lot of traffic can give you the revenue that you're looking for, and make a big difference in terms of the way you look at that site in terms of your business plan as well. So we've got our next question come in from Uma. Welcome, Uma. Uma has said, please, for mediation, should I enable auto ads on my AdSense account? So no, with mediation, Uma, that's a really good question. We would recommend auto ads to be switched off. And the reason for that is that they can interfere with Ezoic ads. What happens with mediation is that we put a portion of your traffic to Google and say, hey, do you want to put an ad in front of this traffic? You're going to need to outbid yourself and everyone else to do that. And sometimes Google will say yes, and that's a good thing for you, because it means that you're not leaving any revenue on the table, and you can be confident that you're earning the most by running Ezoic and mediation alongside each other. But yeah, I would recommend switching off the auto ads. If you go to your Ezoic dashboard, Uma, go to Ezoic ads. So I'll just quickly show you that here. So if you go to the Ezoic ads button here and go to ad types, do take a look at the different ad types that you've got switched on. Obviously with auto ads, you've got things like the vignette ads, anchor ads, so do make sure that they're all switched on, as well as your floating video and anchor ads, because that way Ezoic will effectively replace your auto ads with the ads that we have, and that enables us to see those ads, and it means that your EPMV isn't being watered down. So I hope that helps. So Annexa says, yes, I love that show too. Oh, I'm glad you like it too. Yeah, it was good fun watching it. Thanks for the great tips today. No problem at all, Annex. You're so welcome. Okay, so thank you for all the questions you've had coming in. What I'll do is I'll hold on for another couple of minutes. So if you do have any more questions, feel free to send them over to me in the comments box. So whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can put the comments in the chat box there, and they come through to me in a stream of questions, and I can then answer them for you. So Umar said, if I understand, AdSense would be using Mosaic placeholders too, right? So kind of, yeah, Umar. So what happens is we don't sort of give AdSense one of your placeholders and say, hey, you can always put an ad in here if you want to. What happens is there's an auction that takes place on your site when the page is loading, and it all happens super quick. It sounds very slow, but it happens super quick because it's all done by AI. So AdSense normally is part of Ezoic's ad partners. And so AdSense normally, whether you've got mediation switched on or not, can put ads on your site. All they need to do is outbid everyone else on the Ezoic partners to put that ad in front of that particular traffic. What happens with mediation as well is a secondary auction takes place where we say to AdSense, hey, I know you want to spend X amount on this ad, or your competitor wants to spend X amount on this ad to put it in front of this reader. Do you want to outbid them and pay more? So it's all about auctions, and it all happens by AI in real time, and it's designed to get you the most money out of your site with ads that are going to be in the right place for your readers, because the way the AI works is that we understand how your readers are going to behave, how they're going to react to your site. And so we'll put ads in places that's going to fit in best with your optimization settings. So if on the optimization goals, so this one here, if you've got it set on balance, that means you'll get a 50-50 split between user experience and revenue in terms of the way the AI works. If it's on revenue focused, then it's obviously going to be more weighted towards revenue than user experience. And at the moment, what I would recommend doing is switching your site over to revenue focus between now and sort of 27th, 28th of December. At the moment, consumers aren't as sensitive to ads as what they normally are, because they're wanting to shop and they're visiting lots of different websites to try and get Christmas presents and the best deals, and so those ads are going to be very much retargeting. This way you can get the most revenue from your site with having minimal or no impact on your user experience metrics. If you do have concerns about your user experience metrics, if this is very much a site that's less about the revenue and more about growing traffic and growing your brand, then please use the user experience focus settings, and we'll put ads on your website page that are going to facilitate as the best user experience that we can get for your readers. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll get fewer ads. It's about where those ads are on the website page, and how your readers are reacting to the ads. So I hope that helps. So no aim, no shame has said, my mediation earnings are not showing up in the Ezoic dashboard for some reason. I have mediation enabled and the AdSense account is earning. I already sent support ticket. Okay. No aim, no shame with that one. With the AdSense mediation, there could be a couple of things going on here. So if you've already connected your AdSense account, and if you go to mediation, if this is showing that mediation is connected, then the reason why the mediation might not be earning is because the advertisers are outbidding Google AdSense at every time, or Google AdSense isn't seeing certain niches of traffic that it wants to come into your site to give it a reason to outbid itself. So if you've got a ticket center support, that's fantastic. They can look at the technical aspects of what's going on with your site just to make sure everything's connected. And what I would recommend doing alongside this is looking at ways to increase traffic to your site in terms of the variety of content. So doing things like making sure you're using your Flickrfy quota, using Humix fully as well in both the grow and share functions. But then also, if you've got data in your Niche IQ topics, please do use Niche IQ topics as well. You can find that under this button here, under the topics button. So what happens with Niche IQ is that our system uses the information that we get from your Google Search Console, and you can click on the settings button here to make sure your Google Search Console is authorized. If it's showing that it needs to be reauthorized, getting that step done can help more accurate information to come through to the topics. If you've got an in progress button or a button that says, oh, we haven't quite got enough data, what I would recommend doing is just popping back in 30 days. You can also click on the resources tab here and let us know feedback in the topics feedback form. And we do have a tech team that looks at that feedback regularly, and will let your publisher success team know, and they'll reach out to you with any solutions or advice. So no aim, no shame says that's the problem. Mediation is winning the bids as the actual AdSense account is earning. They are just not showing up in the dashboard. Okay, so the AdSense account is showing that they're earning, but the Ezoic dashboard is showing that they're not earning. Okay, so what could have happened there is maybe the channels that we use in AdSense to collect that data have been deleted or archived, and once they're either deleted or archived, it means that Ezoic can't then pick up the information and put it in the dashboard. So with that one, no aim, no shame, the support team will be able to work through that as a troubleshooting step. What I would recommend though is checking that your traffic is set at 100%, just in case what's happening is your traffic set at like 90% or lower. So 10% of your traffic is going to your original site where your AdSense ads are, and that's why you're seeing the AdSense earnings sort of collect, and then not being any mediation in the Ezoic dashboard. So just if you've got a couple of minutes today, it's worth doing that troubleshooting step, and then if you do find your traffic's at sort of 90% or 95%, so you've got 100% going to Ezoic. Okay, that's fantastic. So that rules that one out. So with that one, what we're going to need to do is take a look at your site and do an in-depth analysis and look at your Google AdSense account. What we can do is once your Google AdSense account is connected to Ezoic, we can then look into there. Our tech team can make sure that the channels are fully set up and that the reporting is connected through to Ezoic from AdSense. If you are seeing your AdSense revenue collecting, that's great. With the AdSense revenue, that's obviously paid out by AdSense. It's not paid out by Ezoic from mediation. So there's no worries there in terms of you receiving your money. But obviously what we do need to do is make sure all the reporting channels are set up and find out what's going on. And the support team will be able to help you through that ticket. Bear with them. It might take a day or two for the tech team to look into that, but we will be able to get that sorted for you. So I hope that helps, and yeah, do let us know how you get on with that one. If you do have further concerns, do head over to the Ezoic community and let us know in there, or just reply to the support ticket, and the team will be able to help you through that support ticket as well. No problem at all. You're so welcome. I hope that gets resolved for you soon. Okay, so I'll just hang on again for another couple of minutes just to see if any questions do come in. After that time, I will close the call. Like I say, in terms of my diary, with these sessions, I block out between 9 and 10 a.m. to answer as many questions as I can for you during that time. But I do close them early if you've got all your questions answered. That enables me to then go and help people either through tickets or community, in terms of my next step, if you like. So that way I can get back to people as quickly as I can. But do let me know if you do have any more questions. I'd love to be able to help you and answer them now. I love doing these live sessions. It enables me to connect in with you folks and enables me to, where I can, give you instant answers, but also where I'm not able to, at least help reassure you in terms of the processes that we go through and any troubleshooting steps that I can help you with, so that you can move things along while you're waiting to hear back from the wider team. So I'll just give it a couple of minutes, and then I'll close it for today. Do remember that tomorrow we've got the session on January ad rates. It's a Q&A session. So how those work is I'll set up some slides for you to take you through the sort of overview of what's going to happen in January and top tips that can help you. And then what I also do alongside that is any questions that come in, I will answer those. So this way you can get kind of a broad overview of what's going to happen in January if it's your first January advertising, and then also get specific questions answered. So Umar has said, I'm in the dating and relationship niche and most of my traffic source is from India. My EPMV is super low. Please, are there any tips for me to increase the EPMV? So part of what's happening here, Umar, is that traffic from India does have a low EPMV, and that's because of ad rates and the way advertisers want to spend their money. It's also partly to do in terms of the traffic from India tends to come in on mobile devices. Mobiles are obviously got smaller screens, and so smaller screens mean smaller ads. Smaller ads mean less revenue. So what I would recommend doing, Umar, is a couple of things. So first of all, go to the Ezoic community, take a look at how can I increase my EPMV. This article will help you understand how EPMV works, and also to make sure that you're getting the most EPMV out of where your site is at currently. And it will also help you to find ways to be able to understand how you can grow your site and get different traffic coming in, so that you can then grow that EPMV as well. Obviously, not all sources of traffic from India have a low EPMV in terms of individuals. It's just that on average they tend to. So what I would recommend doing is thinking about the advertisers that are going to be advertising in India, the type of people who are going to be coming to your site in terms of the relationship niche, and look at ways that you might then want to be able to change your content to draw in readers from areas of your readership who the advertisers are then going to want to pay more money for to place ads on your site. If you have Niche IQ topics up and running and you've got information coming in, and that's a really good place to start because they're evergreen keywords there that are going to give you ideas and help you to start creating content. Do make sure as well that you've got Flickrfy and Humix set up on the grow and share functions. So what you can find with creating Flickrfy videos is if you're using the grow function and the share function together, that can help you to increase your EPMV by 15% or up to 15%. And part of that is about those videos that you create on Flickrfy being put into the wider Ezoic network, so other publishers can put those videos on their site, and then what's happening there is that you're earning a percentage of that revenue from the video that's being put on someone else's site. They may be getting a lot of their traffic from US, UK, Canada, which traditionally has a much higher EPMV, and obviously you're not getting any traffic to your site, so this can increase your EPMV because you're getting money coming in with zero visits. So that has an added benefit from an EPMV point of view. I'm not sure if you're on before, Umar, so just to recap, what's also important to remember with sites that have low EPMV is that you want to make sure that you're getting the best EPMV that you can for your site, and always looking at ways to diversify your traffic and marketing to bring in traffic sources that are going to earn you a higher EPMV. But what's important to remember is that you can also bring in more traffic to your site. And the more traffic that you've got coming to your site, providing that the user experience metrics stay the same and they're not kind of bouncing off, the higher your overall revenue will get. So it's important to think in terms of EPMV, definitely, but also important to think in terms of traffic and volume as well. Creating content regularly, using Flickrfy all helps you to be able to achieve this. So I hope that helps. So No Aim No Shame has said, you previously mentioned that for mediation, it is not recommended to turn on auto ads for AdSense. If that is the case, how should we set it up and how many ads per page should we add for Google? So in terms of mediation, that's right. We recommend to have the auto ads switched off. In terms of the ads per page and how many should we add in for Google, I'm not quite sure I understand that, so I'll answer it how I think I understand it. No aim, no shame. But if I've misunderstood your question, then do let me know, and I can recap and adjust. So the way Ezoic works is that we recommend to have, depending on the volume of content you have on your site, around sort of 15 to 20 ad placeholders on your website page. We recommend having a sidebar because these are really valuable spaces for ads. And we recommend, if you're comfortable to, having native ad placeholders on your site as well. Again, this is a really great way for you to be able to earn revenue from that last click, rather than people closing down your website page, which isn't going to earn you any money. If they click on a native ad to leave your page, you're going to earn money from that, which is going to help your business growth. In terms of the ads to give over to Google, how Ezoic works is that Google's a ad partner of ours. So just by having ads placeholders on and being integrated and having your traffic switched on, you're going to be having Google ads on your site through Google's ad partner relationship with Ezoic. How mediation works is that it all happens very quick. It happens by AI, is that there's an auction that takes place amongst all the ad partners for each ad placeholder on your website page for each reader. And then alongside that, we send a portion of your traffic to Google through mediation and say, hey, we've got this niche of traffic coming to this site. Do you want to outbid yourself and everyone else to put an ad on this website page? It might be that Google chooses to put one ad on your website page through the normal auction, and it might also be that Google chooses to put one ad on your website page through mediation. It just depends on the traffic niche that you've got coming to your site, the goals that Google has in terms of the ad campaigns that it's looking to fulfill, and then that way they can achieve their goals, and you can also get the best value for money as well in terms of earning the most. So I hope that helps. If I haven't answered that correctly, do let me know and I can recap that one. Umar said, thank you so much. You're so welcome, Umar. Good luck with your site. I hope the articles help. So Ash has said, I have Ezoic Premium, but my EPMV only grew $2 on average. I'm in the home niche, but still average EPM is $10 to $12. So with that one, Ash, it's difficult to know what's happened, because it depends on when you started premium, what level you're on, and all of these things could impact how your EPMV grows when you're on premium. Just to give you some general advice, though, what I would recommend doing is, first of all, go to your Ezoic Premium dashboard and book a premium review. This way, you get 30 minutes with our publisher success team on a one-on-one meeting. It happens on Google Hangouts, and the team will then be able to look at your site ahead of time and give you advice on how to grow your EPMV and the steps that they would recommend. What I would also recommend doing is going to your settings tab, which is under Ezoic Ads, and checking to make sure that your traffic's on 100%. What I've seen happen sometimes is that publishers' traffic is on less than 100% when they're on premium. And obviously, because of the premium levels, the way it's based on is the volume of standard Ezoic revenue that you're earning, and that's obviously based in part on the traffic that you're getting to your site. So by making sure that you've got 100% traffic to your site, you may find that helps. Also check things like make sure your privacy policy is set up, and also all your GDPR policy. Those again can have a big impact on your EPMV because of the advertisers will ask to see those before putting ads on your site. Next thing I would check is go to your ad restrictions and make sure you haven't got the max ads per page app on. I've seen publishers who have got max ads per page app on and have limited it sort of to 2 or 3 ads per page. And what's happening there is our system is being very strict because it's based on AI. And so even though you're on premium, the max ads per page app will be limiting the number of ads on your website page, which will be limiting the amount of premium ads that can show, and that will be limiting your EPMV. And then alongside that, Ash, if you are at level 1 or 2 or higher, create a ticket with our team and ask them to take a look at your ad placeholders. That way you can be confident that they're fully set up, because having a optimal ad placeholder set up means that we can then get the optimal EPMV for your site. And then while you're waiting for your premium review to come through, take a look at the community article of how can I increase my EPMV. That walks you through a step-by-step guide of understanding EPMV, the influences on it, but also walks you through what you can change to help increase your EPMV. So I'd recommend in the meantime doing that, and you might be able to find that you're able to solve some of the issues you're seeing just by doing that, and can then get additional support from our team on the premium review. So no aim, no shame has said, thank you, some golden info here. You're so welcome. I'm really glad that helps. And Asha says, thanks for giving me advice. No problem at all. I'm really happy to help. So Asha said, I have no privacy policy page on my site. Is it affect EPMV, but site has an About Us page? Okay, so what I would recommend doing, Ash, is do get that privacy policy page created. Head over to so if I just go to the Ezoic dashboard here, just to show you. So if you go to your settings tab and then the privacy button here, make sure you've got your consent management set up, and then also go to the privacy policy tab and put the privacy policy URL in from your site. If you don't have the consent management app set up correctly and you don't have your privacy policy set up, these could be having a big impact on your EPMV. Many advertisers ask to see both of these before they'll place ads on your site. So you'll be impacting your EPMV because these advertisers will see you haven't got a privacy policy page, and so just not put ads on your website page. So Rasika has said, can we get approval for an online tool website? So Rasika, yeah, we certainly do have tool websites on Ezoic, and we certainly do have tool websites that have been approved by the Google Ad Manager domain process and also the wider Google Ad Manager process. What can happen with tool websites, though, is the Google process means that it sees the site as having low value content, and so it can be difficult to get approval from Google on the online tool websites. What I would recommend doing is, first of all, going to your Ezoic dashboard, clicking on the Add a Site button and adding that tool website in. That then enables you to get checked out by the platform quality team here at Ezoic, and we'll let you know through your Ezoic dashboard whether you've been successful on that online tool website. Secondly, alongside that, start going through the Google Ad Manager process. You should get your Google Ad Manager your Google Ad Manager overall account approved, but you may find that you run into challenges around getting your website domain approved. If that happens and it's because of low value content, what I would recommend doing is reaching out to our teams. They'll give you advice on what you can work through, and then if that doesn't work, and from everything we can see, the platform quality team feel it's just because Google's using technology to check out your site, we may be able to appeal that decision, but that is in very rare cases. So we do have a set process to go through. So it's not as straightforward, certainly, as getting a blog approved. So please do bear with us in terms of our processes, but we'd love to be able to have the opportunity to try. And what I would recommend doing as well well is going over to the Ezoic support. If you're having issues on getting your Google Ad Manager approved, there is articles on here that can walk you through what steps to take that can help you with that. So Paul, hi Paul. Paul has said, hello, may I ask if Ezoic will accept gaming downloading sites? So on the whole, Paul, and it's difficult for us to be able to say without seeing your site, on the whole, gaming download sites go against Google Ads policy if the content hasn't been created by yourself and you're just linking to other downloads and asking sorry, bear with me. So Paula said it's not a free downloading site anyway. Okay, so are these games that you've built that some paid games will direct to Play Store? Okay, are these games that you've built yourself? So just while I'm waiting for the feedback to come in from Paul as to whether these are games that have been created by Paul or whether they're just links to games within the Play Store. Downloading sites in general are very difficult to get approved because they do go against Google AdSense policy. It depends on the volume of content and whether these website pages are aggregate content. So say, for example, it's a website about gaming in general, and you've got one or two pages that are about downloadable games, and you're linking from your website page to Paula said it will redirect to Play Store if the game is paid. Okay, that's great, thank you. With those paid games, are they ones that you've created, Paul, or are these ones that you're linking to in terms of recommendations? So with download sites, if it is a case of you're linking to the Play Store because it's a recommendation, if it's only one or two pages, what we can do is exclude those pages from Ezoic. So we might be able to approve the wider blog, but then not approve those certain pages. If it's just a couple of pages, we can exclude them through the excluded pages app, but it does depend on the volume of that content and where those downloads are coming from, in terms of if it's your original content or if it's third-party content that you're linking to. Paul, in terms of next steps, what I would recommend doing is read through the Google AdSense policy. That will help you to understand if that site is compliant with Google AdSense policy. If you think that on the whole your site is compliant, maybe it's just one or two pages that aren't, do go over to your Ezoic dashboard, click in the Add a Site button. That will then send a message to our platform quality team, who will work through that site and see if they can recommend it. If it's a large volume of download content, then unfortunately they won't be able to, but worth taking the steps to go through that if you do think that on the whole the majority of the content is Google AdSense approved and it's just maybe one or two pages. We may be able to exclude those pages for you. So I hope that helps, Paul. Thank you everybody so much for your questions today. It's been really lovely to spend time with you. If you're watching this on playback, do head over to the Ezoic community. There's a thread there called Live Learning with your Publisher Success Manager. This helps you to then be able to ask any questions that you've got. I keep an eye on those threads and will answer them just as soon as I can. I work Monday to Friday, so please do bear with me over the weekend. I'll get back to you as soon as I can on Monday. And we've got another session next week on Wednesday at the same time between 9 and 10. So I look forward to meeting you again then. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.